It's Joyce from Moore's Patch of Heaven Homestead, and we were asked by Tony over at Kettle Kitchen to take part in his Noodle November. So today you are in for quite a treat because we are going to be making homemade noodles. And not only are we making homemade noodles, but Jedediah is going to be making his homemade chicken Alfredo, guys. This is the bomb. Everybody that ever has tasted his chicken Alfredo asks him for the recipe, so you're in for a treat. So anyway, I'm going to get started. I'm going to be using organic flour, some eggs, and salt to make my noodles. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started, and I'll bring you along as I get, in the process of it all. Okay, I'm going to be doubling this. So I'm going to be putting in 2 cups of flour and 4 eggs and 1 teaspoon of salt, and that is what makes our dough. It is so simple, guys. But these noodles, once you have tasted homemade noodles, you'll never go back to store-bought. They are so simple to make. Every time I make it, my kids are like, oh my word, we have to have these all the time. It's a little bit of work, but you know what? It's so worth it. I don't have a dough machine, or I should say a noodle machine that makes the noodles all nice for you, but that's okay. They're going to be nice and thick and yummy. And yeah, okay, let me get this stirred up. So this is the fun part. Getting the dough to come together. Just a little bit of work. It's not much. It will eventually start coming together and forming a nice dough ball, but takes a little bit of work. All right, I've got it all put together here. We are now going to get it rolled out. And I'll show you how we cut the noodles. They're never pretty, but you know what? That's okay. One day we may get a noodle machine, but for now we just roll them out with a pizza cutter. You can do it with a knife. It really doesn't matter. They end up tasting delicious no matter what. So I'm going to work this, get it a little bit thinner, and then we'll start cutting noodles. Okay, and it's as simple as that. Like I said, the noodles will not be beautiful, but they will be yummy. And you just kind of do this. And then what I do, because my kiddos don't like them real big, is I cut them in half like so. And look at that, here's noodles. And then all I'm going to do, there's a big one, is you want to always make sure while the noodles are waiting that they have been floured so they don't stick together. So then I just stick them in there. And I continue on. Okay, so like I said, the noodles will never be uniform when you're doing it like this, but it's okay. They taste amazing, guys. It is so simple. Once you try this, you will never want to buy store-bought noodles again. And I mean, it doesn't matter if they're not perfect. And then from here, I may cut them again just because it just makes for the process of boiling and stuff much easier than if you do the full noodles, which you can do. It's not a problem. I've done those too. And there's times when I make the little bitty ones for chicken and dumpling. Same way. Here they are. You put a lot of flour on them so they don't stick. I've got my water heating up. We're going to start that process, and then once we finish the noodles, Jedediah is starting on his yummy Alfredo. Okay, so all the noodles are done. Our water is boiling, so now we are going to put them in the pot and start the boiling process. And the wonderful thing with the noodles is, guys, when they're done, they start floating to the top, so you kind of know when they're done. I'm just dropping them into this boiling water, usually about 5-ish minutes, and you'll see them start floating to the top, and then you know they're done. Okay, can you see how the noodles have floated to the top? Yep, that means they're done. So we have this handy dandy little ladle that we use, and what it does is it gets all the water out. Oops. Look at that. They are scrumptious, guys. They're the best noodles you'll ever eat. And so simple to make. Flour, eggs, and salt. Okay, now we're going to get started on the Alfredo sauce. There are the piping hot noodles, guys. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Yep. Now he's getting ready for his yummy sauce. Okay, we are melting the butter. This is Kerrygold grass-fed butter. It really helps when you have good ingredients, but any butter will do. If you make your own, that'll work as well. This is the same pot that we used for our noodles, so you know what? You can do that. That way there's less dishes. Really makes a difference. Okay, so we're waiting for the butter to melt. Then what are we going to do?
Add the cream.
Okay, then we're going to add cream. We have 2 cups of cream that we're going to add to that. And yeah, we'll show you what we do next. We use real Parmesan cheese, the shredded kind. This one was in the freezer, so. But yes, I think that makes a big difference when you're using real cheese versus the powdered. But that can be done as well. If that's what you have, that's what you work with. And then we have some chicken here and salt and pepper. And yeah, we're going to put it all together. Look at that lovely cream. One of these days we're going to have well, we have a milk cow, but we'll be able to milk her. We're going to get her bred here soon. And then after she has her calf, we'll do some calf shearing, and it'll be wonderful to have cream of our own. Okay, so we're going to let that go for about 2 minutes, and it'll thicken up and become like a cream sauce. You can do it as a roux as well, but we prefer not to. I know some people will do the flour and make their roux first. We prefer not to put the flour in there. The cheese and the cream really do thicken up nicely. I always save some of my noodle water because once we're making the sauce, the noodles will get cold. And so then I just pour this over the noodles and give them a good shake so that they're hot again before we get ready to start eating. So that's just a little tip. I don't know if y'all do that as well, but I always save some of the noodle water just to pour over the noodles again and just re-warm them up. And just in case they started sticking, this really does help. See how nicely that's come together with no flour. Because sometimes when you use that flour, it gives it that flour taste, and we don't like that. So it can be done without a roux. Lots of fresh ground pepper and salt. Okay, we're putting in that yummy grated Parmesan cheese.
Let that melt.
Look at that. And let that melt. Okay. How much did you put in?
3 cups.
3 cups. Okay.
1 more maybe.
And maybe 1 more. Looks like it's getting nice and thick, and that cheese does not take long to melt. And now the chicken goes in. You can put as much or as little chicken as you want. It doesn't really matter. If you like it real chickeny, add more chicken. If you like it a little bit less, you can put less. But guys, if you could just smell this. If you could just smell this. I'm not a big Italian food fan, but boy, when he started making this, it changed things. When I would make chicken Alfredo, it just didn't seem to taste as good as this one. I guess it's made with love, maybe. He adds a few of his own secret ingredients. I'm not sure if he'll share those or not, but anyway, look at that. Yep, we are having a Thanksgiving baking day today, and guess what we're having for lunch? We are having chicken Alfredo with homemade noodles. Oh my word. And now for the taste test. Oh my word. Look at that. Yep, we're gonna have Gene taste it and see what he thinks. Oh my goodness.
Okay, here comes the
moment of truth.
moment of truth.
Let's look at this. Yum. Okay, what does Papa think? I know this is his favorite, so I know what he's going to say.
This is my favorite, and Jedediah does an amazing job.
He really does.
And Joyce has been making homemade noodles for a long time.
And it's definitely our family's favorite.
This is excellent.
So what would you say? Would you say box noodles versus homemade?
Oh, definitely definitely homemade. This is
oh my goodness,
this
guys.
is so delicious.
See, I mean, it's so simple, and look, they don't stick together. Look at this. They're still just falling apart. They really do not need much work.
Can I have another bite?
You may have as much as you like. That should tell you right there, guys. You got to give it a try. Okay, guys, we are done making our chicken Alfredo. We are so glad that you came along with us. I hope that you too will give this a try. Again, Tony over at Kettle Kitchen has an entire playlist of everybody who is doing Noodle November. Go check them out, because if you do and you comment, you have a chance to win some of the prizes that he has. So anyway, guys, I again hope that you will start making homemade noodles, because it is so easy, so much better for you. You know what the ingredients are. And the same thing with the chicken Alfredo. I have read those jars, and the ingredients in there are not ones you want to eat. But anyway, I'm going to end. We are wishing you a happy Thanksgiving from our home to yours, even though this is a day late. We hope that you had fun with your family. And remember, every day is Thanksgiving. I'm going to end for now. God bless you.